I mean, look at all the stuff this woman has
All
had
principals
to
have
deal with.
hard jobs. No principal
Well,
job
not
is easy.
All of them have a hard job.
So, as we're going along here, what do you think about what Charles Barkley said? Is Charles Barkley right? As a matter of fact, let's listen.
You have an audio.
Yeah, I think I have an audio here of what Charles Barkley had to say. Let's listen
Well,
to
it's
Charles.
interesting. One of my colleagues asked me to comment on this.
Let's listen to what Charles Barkley have to say. Let's listen.
And, for those people listening, Mike Freeman wrote a piece about Russell Wilson where he quoted unnamed players saying he wasn't black enough, that he was too much of a company guy and that sort of thing. Now, Mike disagreed with the statement, but some of the players said that. Is that the same case where, why would you hate Russell Wilson?
Well, unfortunately, as I tell my white friends, we as black people, we're never going to be successful, not because of you white people, because of other black people. When you're black, you have to deal with so much crap in your life from other black people. It's a dirty, dark secret. I'm glad it's coming out. It comes out every few years. I wrote a big chapter in my book about it, to be honest with you. I said, when young black kids, when they do well in school, the loser kids tell them, oh, you're acting white. The kids who speak intelligently,
right?
They tell them you're acting white. So it's a dirty, dark secret in the black community. One of the reasons we're never going to be successful as a whole because of other black people. And for some reason, we are brainwashed to think if you're not a thug or an idiot, you're not black enough. If you go to school, make good grades, speak intelligent, and don't break the law, you're not a good black person. And it's a dirty, dark secret, Anthony. I heard Stephen A. talking about it. Listen, I hate to bring white people into our crap, but as a black person, we all go through it when you're successful. It's like one of the reasons a lot of black players go broke is because when you're successful, your friends say to you, oh, you ain't cool, you ain't down with us anymore. And you end up giving up all your money to these damn losers, and you end up broke again.
Yeah.
But it's a dirty, dark secret in the black community that a lot of black people who are unintelligent, who don't have a success, it's best to knock a successful black person down because they're intelligent, they speak well, they do well in school, and they're successful. And they don't. I mean, think about it.
Well, it's crabs in a barrel, right?
It's crabs in a barrel. And it's the thing that's funny. We're the only race that tell people if you don't have street cred, which that means you've been arrested.
Right.
Like that's a compliment. We're the only ethnic group who say, hey, if you go to jail, it gives you street cred. It's just typical BS that goes on when you're black, man. Don't waste a lot of time on it, please.
And there you have it, our good friend Charles Barkley.
Who's your good friend?
I gotta give Charles Barkley gets a little credit from me. Charles Barkley is one of the few black men in the United States of America can really be honest about certain things, and there are no consequences for his actions. He's one of the few guys that can say certain things, and you know what they're going to say? Oh, that's Charles. But does Charles Barkley have a point? We are brainwashed to think if you're not a thug or an idiot, you're not black enough. What do you think, Marjorie? Does he really have a point, or is he misguided?
Keep asking other questions. Go ahead, I'm listening. Do you think he has a point? Obviously, you believe he has a point. You believe he has a point.
Yeah, I believe he has a point. I believe so.
Has someone ever accused you of such a thing?
Of trying to bring someone else?
Well, that you aren't black enough because you have X, Y, and Z.
Nah, never been accused of that. And they're not going to say that to me. I'm a foreigner with an accent.
Because what are you going to do? Oh, so you can get away with that being a foreigner. So me as a homegrown black person, I could probably attest to this better.
Well, people might accuse you of that. You speak very properly.
I speak properly?
Yeah.
As opposed to improperly? What do you mean?
I supposed to street cred. You'd be like, yo, what's happening, sister? Yo, what's happening, homie?
That doesn't even sound right.
You're my dog, homie. You're my dog, man.
I'm not your dog.
You're my dear UG, man.
Anselm.
What up? What
Oh,
up?
God help us.
What up? What up? So what do you think? As I tell my white friends, we as black people, we're never going to be successful. Not because of you white people, but because of other black people. When you're black, you have to deal with so much crap in your life from other black people. It's a dirty, dark secret. I'm glad it's coming out. It comes out every few years. I wrote a big chapter in my book about it. It's to be honest with you. I said, you know when young black kids, you know when they do well in school, the loser kids tell them, oh, you acting white. The kids who speak intelligently, they tell them, you're acting white. So it's a dirty, dark secret in the black community. Now, is that true? Is it true that you're a teacher? Is it true that the intelligent black kids, the other black kids tell them you acting white?
I haven't heard that, but I know that that has existed. I mean, I don't know if it necessarily does today. I'm sure that it's not that far off that people would say that, because people, black and white, equate whiteness with intelligence. Mm-hmm. And so if you're intelligent, then you know.
The media does a good job of that too.
Well, the media does it, but
the white quarterback is very intelligent.
I mean, one thing about
he's an intelligent quarterback. He's a very smart player.
I was just reading recently that one thing about being from an oppressed group of people is that you're brought up to think the same thing about yourself that the oppressor thinks about you.
What?
If you are among a group of people and you are within an oppressed group, say like black people without privilege in our society, this is oppression, yes?
I wasn't taught that in Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, we're not talking about what you were taught in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm just giving you a sociological perspective.
But we weren't brought up to think about.
I'm just saying to you that if you were brought up and the predominant view is that there's something wrong with you, over time you believe that as well.
You believe something is wrong.
You believe that there's something is wrong. And I don't think that is just for black Americans, but it's for all people who are brought over here in this diaspora, and many people who are in Africa have these ideas of their own inferiority, let's say. It goes with not just education, but with color. There's always a preference for skin that is lighter. I don't care where you're at, be that in Trinidad or in Detroit. People have issues and color issues.
We really never had color issues.
Well, but listen, that's not from what I've been told from other Trinidadians. It's pervasive among black people, because if the people that are free are white and some people are a little bit freer because they're lighter, then the assumption is that your light skin brings about a privilege. Now, we might all know that we're all black, and white people might know we're all black, but within the black community, people have color issues. And that's across the board, because that is what we have been taught, and that is the way the social stratification has been made.
Let me say this. For my 17 or 18 years living in Trinidad and Tobago, I'll be honest with you, I never, ever had to deal with race.
Okay, that is you, but I'm telling you, it's not race.
In our community, we never had to deal with.
Well, you know what, Anselm, please don't, because I know you, to all the listeners in Trinidad and Tobago, just please bear with me for a second. You yourself stated here just a couple of weeks ago that you felt that you got a break because your last name was LeBourne.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. So if it's not a color issue, and the assumption is that if there's a drop or a quarter of a drop in you.
But I didn't know that until I came to America.
I'm saying to you, though, you're saying that it doesn't exist. Maybe you may not have been aware of it.
But that's what I'm saying.
But it exists. That's all I want you to recognize, that it exists.
But yeah, I'm not disputing that it exists, but I'm telling you that for my 17 or 18 years of living in Trinidad and Tobago, I never had to deal with that.
All right. I I think that it's not just you not having to deal with it in Trinidad and Tobago. I think that it's with many people. I mean, there was an article, but I don't have it in front of me. But many people who grew up in segregated places, if you grow up in an all-black place and don't have to deal with people of other races, then all you have is yourself. Now, sure, that people make discernations between, light and dark skin and all the rest of that. But for the most part, you have people who are smart of all hues, people who are medium or middle average range, and people who are not, so academically gifted of all ranges as well. And nobody is expecting that. But there's always this expectation that the person with the lighter color is advantaged. And that's a historical fact. It's always pretty much been the truth, because those people at the end of slavery and during slavery who were colored, who were free mulattoes, got a break from things that let me finish, that other people did not get a break from. And so those are the first people to become the professionals in society, be that the teachers, the doctors, etc. And so people assume that somebody is light with good hair. I mean, like, you haven't heard that, Anselm. Like, you never heard that term in Trinidad?
What's that?
Somebody to say so-and-so is light and they got good hair. You've never heard that?
What I heard, I heard people, Dougla. Dougla is a cross between an Indian person and a black person. And the person comes out and they have...
I've had a friend of mine who's Trinidadian who said, yes, her sisters were lighter than her and they got a better break. And people would always... people would say, "Oh, you're pretty, even though you're dark."
I'm not saying it didn't happen.
Okay, so all right. I'm saying, but I don't want. I know you. Okay, and I didn't experience that either, Anselm. But I know that it exists because I watch Society.
I didn't know it exists. I never experienced it until I came to the United States of America.
Okay, but it exists in Trinidad.
Yes, I didn't know about it. I wasn't privileged, and I'll give you an example. Let me give you a great example.
Jesus Christ.
There is gated communities in Trinidad and Tobago. Okay? Gated communities. I went to Trinidad, I think back in the 80s. And I stayed at a friend's place. He lived in a gated community. And I never knew there were gated communities in Trinidad and Tobago.
And your point being?
Point being that what I'm telling you is the same thing. I didn't know about looking at people that if you are light-skinned, you got an advantage over people who are darker. I didn't know because that wasn't my experience.
Oh, okay. Well, but you are aware of it, right?
I'm aware of it now.
Okay. All right.
And I'll give you an example.
But as long as you are aware of it, just like me saying, my children probably did not get mistreated at Columbia High School because of the color of their skin. But you're saying, well, there's a fact that, black people are segregated and put in these lower levels. And I'm like, well, that's not my experience. But I accept the fact that is an experience. Just like you accept the fact. You accept that fact that people look at people who have skin that's lighter in a different way than they would look at themselves if they have dark skin or vice versa. You
Absolutely.
accept that.
I accept that.
And that's not just in the United States of America.
Across the world.
It's across the world.
Yes.
For real.
For real. Now hold that thought. Time check. The time is approximately 9 p.m. That time check is brought to you by Semper Alexander Computer Consultants, where they implement cost-effective solutions to fulfill your business need. Semper Alexander for all your computer needs. We can call them at 973-763-2011. That's 973-763-2011. We're going to go for a short break, and we're going to be right back because I feel that this is an exciting, very interesting topic.
I don't know about exciting, though.
It is exciting.
Okay. You look really excited.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Uh-huh.
All right, we'll be right back.
The Strollers present Bruce Norris's Pulitzer Prize-winning play, Clybourne Park, Fridays and Saturdays, November 7th, 8th, 14th, and 15th at 8 p.m., and Sunday, November 9th at 2 p.m. Sunday matinee will be sign language interpreted for the hearing impaired. All performances at the Bergdorf Center for the Performing Arts, 10 Durand Road, Maplewood. Adult tickets, $20. Student senior, $15. For tickets, call 973-761-8453 or visit our website, www.thestrollers.org.